and that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively, it's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds.
It's not every day that a political commentator dives into Hollywood drama, which makes this situation even more interesting. Why is Candace Owens so invested in this? And what exactly did she say about Blake and Ryan? In this video, we'll break down everything in a clear and fair way, so you can understand the whole story without any sensationalism, just the facts and the different viewpoints. Let's dive in and find out what's really going on. Candace Owens just called out Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for dragging her into their lawsuit, and now things are getting wild. Blake accused Candace of exposing the truth that she clearly wanted to stay hidden. But Candace, always 10 steps ahead, dug up key information they didn't want people to see. Now, Blake is panicking.
Blake Lively was so awful to me when I've interviewed her that she made me want to reconsider my career.
On February 26th, Candace was just scrolling through the latest Hollywood drama when she suddenly saw her name in Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' court filing. She had nothing to do with this lawsuit, yet somehow they roped her in just because she spoke the truth about the situation. Instead of freaking out, she took the moment to completely clown Blake, joking that this was like a Christmas gift and that she could now retire. After all, when two big Hollywood stars mention you in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, it means you've definitely hit a nerve.
It's like, no, I'm just telling the truth, and I don't understand what your problem is with me other than the fact that I am under your skin.
Of course, the media picked up on this and ran with the usual narrative, painting Candace as the bad guy. But let's be real, Candace Owens is not some random person on the internet. She's known for calling out hypocrisy, and that's exactly what got her into this situation. Blake and Ryan weren't happy that someone was tearing apart their carefully crafted victim story, so they tried to make Candace look bad. But their lawsuit is full of contradictions. The biggest mistake they made? Thinking Candace Owens would back down. Now, she's front and center watching their downfall.
But I am. The public, jury, lawyers, both parties, I have to be able to make a decision on my own show, and I'm telling you that we are not accepting this.
Blake Lively's PR stunt backfired badly. Instead of making Baldoni look like the villain, people started turning against her. They saw through the act and realized that this wasn't about justice. It was about control. And when things didn't go her way, she made a desperate move. She asked the court to hide certain evidence. Judge Allen of New York told both sides to submit a proposed protective order. On March 10th, Blake's lawyers requested that certain documents and details stay private. This is common in big cases since nobody wants their personal finances or private messages exposed. But Blake's team took it to another level. They didn't just want the usual protective order, they wanted a special version with extra protections for third parties.
To people that this impending lawsuit will expose what he says is the truth behind Lively's complaint. He said, quote, "This is not a response or countersuit. It's a deliberate pursuit of truth."
This article triggered Baldoni's $250 million defamation suit, in which he accuses the New York Times of deliberately distorting facts and cherry-picking evidence to create a narrative of misconduct. Meanwhile, Blake Lively filed her own lawsuit detailing allegations of harassment and retaliation. Now, both cases are headed for a legal showdown.
During improvised kissing scenes, and also shot those scenes more times than would be expected to be reasonable, and during a scene where no audio was recorded, that Baldoni spoke to her out of character, not as the person he plays in the film, then licked her neck and said it smells so good, and after being confronted by this behavior, told Lively that he wasn't even attracted to her. Again, this is according to the complaint.
The New York Times article alleged that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign to silence Lively after she brought up concerns about his behavior. According to the report, Lively claimed that Baldoni frequently crossed professional boundaries, entering her trailer uninvited, making inappropriate comments, and pressuring her into uncomfortable situations.
During another scene, Lively claims Baldoni improvised a kissing scene according to the complaint. Mr. Baldoni discreetly bit and sucked on Ms. Lively's lower lip during a scene in which he improvised numerous kisses on each take.
When Lively expressed her discomfort, the article alleged that Baldoni and his PR team retaliated by planting negative stories about her in the media.
Her and made her want to give you over the movie rights. I mean, she had a lot of requests.
Yeah, I don't know if, again, I feel like there was some divine guidance there. I don't think it was the words. I think it was the intention and the why that I wanted to make the movie, and the heart that I try to put in everything that I do. And I think at the end of the day, that speaks maybe more than words do. I think that people can feel the intention. It's like the difference between like your grandmother's food and a restaurant's food, right? There's something that's always different about it, and that's the way that we try to make movies, and it's the way I try to live, and I don't know, maybe Colleen just felt that.
At the New York premiere of It Ends With Us, eagle-eyed fans noticed a glaring absence of group photos featuring the main cast. This fueled speculation further, especially after social media users discovered that several cast members, including Blake Lively, had unfollowed Justin Baldoni on Instagram, a move many considered a significant red flag. As the press tour kicked off, tensions appeared to escalate, and Blake's approach to promoting the movie came under heavy criticism online. Many took issue with how Blake handled the promotional efforts, arguing that she focused more on florals, fashion, and her hair care line rather than addressing the serious issues explored in the story. During one event, she even invited fans to grab their florals to see the movie, a move that left critics and fans questioning the tone and sincerity of the promotion. This added another layer of controversy to an already fraught situation.
With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals.
This particular comment from Blake Lively struck a nerve with many, as it was widely deemed tone-deaf given the film's serious subject matter. Instead, she was encouraged to maintain a lighthearted tone while promoting the film, in stark contrast to the serious themes portrayed. As the press tour progressed, many suspected that it wasn't until Justin Baldoni saw the public reception that he decided to go rogue. His Puerto Rico team allegedly pushed for a more authentic approach, which resulted in Justin being portrayed as the only serious member of the cast. This shift led fans to believe that there was an elaborate effort to smear Blake's name in the media, with one fan commenting that they felt manipulated into blaming Blake, while the real responsibility likely lay with the entire team of studio executives and producers. The fan expressed disdain for Justin's actions, stating, "Justin is a gross man for going rogue at the expense of Blake's reputation." They also noted that Blake's behavior during the promotional campaign now made more sense, adding, "I feel terrible she went through that, it's horrible."
This alleged smear campaign caused what Blake described as substantial harm to both her personal and professional life.
I'm just telling the truth, and I don't understand what your problem is with me other than the fact that I am under your skin.
And Ryan Reynolds are one of Hollywood's favorite couples, known for their humor and close bond. But recently, instead of just making people laugh on social media, they found themselves dealing with a serious issue off screen. It started as a big disagreement on the set of a movie Blake was filming, and now it has turned into a legal battle in court. In fact, things have escalated so much that Ryan, as Blake's husband, got pulled into the fight too. Now, political commentator Candace Owens has stepped into the mix.
Ryan uses Taylor Swift's strategy of dropping Easter eggs all over social media, all over the Deadpool movie, all over the It Ends With Us credits, all over the Deadpool credits, to take all of these digs at Justin Baldoni. Again,
Candace Owens isn't a movie star. She's known for sharing strong opinions on politics and current events. Even so, she decided to weigh in on Blake and Ryan's situation and has been very vocal about it online. In fact, Owens has been siding with Blake's co-star Justin Baldoni from the beginning of this feud. She even suggested that Ryan Reynolds might actually be the true villain behind what happened, a very bold claim to make about such a popular actor. Those strong comments have left a lot of people curious and a bit surprised and unstable.
Justin is suing the New York Times for $250 million. Holy hell, this is insane. I mean, he's gonna have a hard time proving it, right? I mean, we're gonna have to see. No one just sues the New York Times, or do they? I don't.
But Baldoni's lawsuit paints a different picture. In it, he claims that the New York Times selectively quoted texts and emails, stripping them of critical context to make him look like a villain. He argues that the article has caused irreparable harm to his career and personal life, and he's seeking $250 million in damages. On June 2nd, 2023, Blake Lively began a text exchange with her It Ends With Us director and co-star, Justin Baldoni, who blamed her assistant for not getting her an updated batch of script pages. She didn't realize they were new. This lawsuit comes after the public turned against her during the press tour for It Ends With Us ever since the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel was announced in 2019. Anticipation has been sky-high. With over 20 million copies sold worldwide and the novel becoming a TikTok sensation, fans had immense expectations. However, the announcement of Blake Lively, famous for her role as Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl, being cast as Lily Bloom left many fans skeptical. Their concerns grew after set photos revealed unexpected costume designs for her character. The tension escalated even before filming began, as reports surfaced about conflicts between Blake and Justin Baldoni, who not only directed the film but also starred as Ryle Kincaid. While the exact reasons for their clashes remain unclear, whispers of creative disagreements and a strained dynamic behind the scenes began circulating early on, adding fuel to the already heated controversy surrounding the project. The speculation surrounding Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni only grew stronger when fans noticed that Justin appeared to keep his distance from the rest of the cast during production. Now, with the recent news of Blake's lawsuit, fans are revisiting everything that transpired before and during the press tour with a fresh perspective. Justin has been accused of inappropriate behavior on set and slandering Blake's character throughout the filming process. Strategic moves by the attorneys and glimpses into what might happen during the main trial. According to unofficial sources, the presiding judge spent the bulk of the session reviewing the nature of the allegations, the potential scope of the upcoming trial, and each legal team's readiness to proceed with what promises to be a complicated series of proceedings. Everyone was prepared for this to be an intense opening act, and they were not disappointed. Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, arrived with an unmistakably combative stance. From the moment he entered the courtroom, Friedman made it clear that he had come to protect his client's interests fervently. Clad in a tailored suit and radiating a confident demeanor, he spared no effort in challenging Blake's legal team at every turn. Friedman insisted that Blake's lawsuit lacked firm evidence and characterized it as an attempt to damage Justin's name in the public eye. During these opening arguments, Friedman leveled criticisms against Blake's attorneys for trying to manipulate the media narrative before Justin had even had the chance to properly respond. This claim was bolstered by the fact that, earlier in the dispute, Blake's side had circulated information to a prominent news outlet with scarcely half a day's notice given to Justin. Unsurprisingly, Friedman expressed outrage at what he perceived as a tactic designed to box his client into a corner. Blake's attorneys responded forcefully, denying that their client was engaged in any effort to skew public perception. They maintained that Blake was the genuine victim of serious wrongdoing and had only gone public to ensure that the relevant facts were brought to light. Despite their insistence, Friedman quickly gained the upper hand in this early round by reminding the court that the original media coverage, which showcased very damaging statements against Justin, placed him in a defensive position from the beginning. Friedman used this point to argue that Justin had every right to defend himself in an equally visible manner, whether that involved speaking to journalists, posting on social media, or even hosting a dedicated website to display what Friedman described as incontrovertible evidence. Friedman's determination was so striking. During production, signs of tension were evident. Blake's initial lawsuit stunned both the media and fans, as she cited a claim worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Most observers initially assumed Justin would either move to settle quickly or prepare to downsize the claims through procedural maneuvers. However, Justin defied those expectations by countering with a legal action of his own, one that was even larger in its monetary demands. In so doing, he declared that he was not only prepared to challenge Blake's accusations, but fully ready to escalate the conflict if necessary. As these allegations and counterclaims surfaced, the stage was set for what could potentially be one of the most dramatic legal battles Hollywood has witnessed in recent years. From the outset, the atmosphere surrounding this dispute was fraught with tension. Several legal analysts shared the view that, despite both parties' celebrity status, one of them would likely yield early to avoid the risk of severe reputational damage. Yet neither side showed the slightest intention of surrender, hinting that an extensive, drawn-out struggle lay ahead. As soon as the story reached mainstream media outlets, it became front-page news, seizing public attention. Commentators quickly weighed in on the merits of Blake's accusations, as well as the possible impacts of Justin's countercase. Some speculated that Blake, known for her accomplished career and generally polished public image, must have compelling reasons to file such a massive suit. Others insisted that Justin, who rose to fame in both acting and directing roles, wouldn't risk his professional reputation by lodging an even bigger claim without having confidence in concrete evidence to back it up. This immediate divide signaled that the dispute had already transcended the courtroom, evolving into a highly public confrontation where social media discussions and online speculation would play almost as large a role as legal depositions and motions. Following months of legal filings, discovery requests, and allegations emerging from both camps, the case finally reached a critical juncture when the two sides met in court for a preliminary hearing.
Who knows anymore where these things are going to...
That discrepancy is one of many highlighted in the scathing $250 million lawsuit filed Tuesday afternoon by Baldoni against the New York Times in Los Angeles Superior Court. Baldoni is among a group of 10 plaintiffs, which also includes publicists Melissa Nathan and Jennifer A.L., who are suing the newspaper for libel and false light invasion of privacy over the article titled "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." Lively's federal lawsuit, on the other hand, dives deeper into the allegations of harassment. She claims Baldoni's behavior began subtly but escalated over time, leaving her feeling unsafe on set. According to her lawsuit, the retaliation campaign not only damaged her reputation but also caused her severe emotional distress. The 87-page complaint, which also accuses the New York Times of promissory fraud and breach of implied contract, offers a rebuttal to the narrative set forth in the 4,000-word article that has rocked Hollywood and led to WME dropping Baldoni as a client just hours after publication.
Justin also leveled accusations at Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, for being aggressive while defending the Gossip Girl actress. According to the lawsuit obtained by E! News, it reads, quote, Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, had aggressively berated Baldoni during a meeting at their penthouse in New York, accusing him of fat-shaming Lively, and that the couple's, quote, inappropriate and humiliating berating of him was delivered as other celebrity friends were coming in and out of their penthouse.
And how the worst thing Justin Baldoni's team can come up with is that she was rude and difficult and threatened not to show up at work. You know, if you read the complaint, I think she had very valid reasons why she wouldn't want to show up to work in an environment like
Blake Lively has just dropped a major plot twist in the ongoing drama surrounding her recent activities, as she is officially suing Justin Baldoni for inappropriate behavior and defamation. The book, which sold millions of copies worldwide, delves into themes of domestic abuse and resilience, a powerful story that Hollywood hoped would spark conversation and inspire change.
Lively's lawsuit claims that the abusive dynamic on screen was mirrored off screen, with Baldoni allegedly engaging in repeated acts of harassment, ranging from unwanted physical contact to inappropriate comments, and creating a pervasive atmosphere of fear and anxiety throughout the production.
Filming began, and all seemed well, at least from the outside. Behind the scenes, however, tensions were reportedly brewing, labeling her as difficult and unstable.
Justin is suing the New York Times for $250 million. Holy hell, this is insane. I mean, he's going to have a hard time proving it, right? I mean, we're going to have to see. No one just sues the New York Times, or do they? I don't.
But Baldoni's lawsuit paints a different picture. In it, he claims that the New York Times selectively quoted texts and emails, stripping them of critical context to make him look like a villain. He argues that the article has caused irreparable harm to his career and personal life, and he's seeking $250 million in damages. On June 2, 2023, Blake Lively began a text exchange with her It Ends With Us director and co-star, Justin Baldoni, who blamed her assistant for not getting her an updated batch of script pages. She didn't realize they were new. This lawsuit comes after the public turned against her during the press tour for It Ends With Us ever since the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel was announced in 2019. Anticipation has been sky-high. With over 20 million copies sold worldwide and the novel becoming a TikTok sensation, fans had immense expectations. However, the announcement of Blake Lively, famous for her role as Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl, being cast as Lily Bloom left many fans skeptical. Their concerns grew after set photos revealed unexpected costume designs for her character. The tension escalated even before filming began, as reports surfaced about conflicts between Blake and Justin Baldoni, who not only directed the film but also starred as Ryle Kincaid. While the exact reasons for their clashes remain unclear, whispers of creative disagreements and a strained dynamic behind the scenes began circulating early on, adding fuel to the already heated controversy surrounding the project. The speculation surrounding Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni only grew stronger when fans noticed that Justin appeared to keep his distance from the rest of the cast during production. Now, with the recent news of Blake's lawsuit, fans are revisiting everything that transpired before and during the press tour with a fresh perspective. Justin has been accused of inappropriate behavior on set and slandering Blake's character throughout the filming process. Strategic moves by the attorneys and glimpses into what might happen during the main trial. According to unofficial sources, the presiding judge spent the bulk of the session reviewing the nature of the allegations, the potential scope of the upcoming trial, and each legal team's readiness to proceed with what promises to be a complicated series of proceedings. Everyone was prepared for this to be an intense opening act, and they were not